Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our show, the QIRAT, an Islamic song competition hosted by iON TV. And alhamdulillah, as I've mentioned before, we've reached the last stage, the last segment of our semi-finals. And after today, it will be decided who goes into the final and who doesn't. But as we mentioned before, everybody is a winner. Everybody will actually also get a certificate for participating and reciting the Holy Quran for us. So even if you don't make it this time, there will be other times where you get the opportunity to recite the Quran. But know that, as I mentioned before, the fact that students are, with their own pleasures and their own desire, reciting the Quran, this is a win for all of us in our society. So alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to take part in such an initiative. I'll move on to our next student, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
What is your name?
Mayesha.
Mayesha. Jazakallah khair, Mayesha, for coming today. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, good.
Excited for this?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. How old are you, Mayesha?
11.
11 years old. Jazakallah khairan. So as you know, there's two segments, right? So you recite from memory and then you recite from the Quran, inshallah, yeah? What will you be reciting for us from memory?
Surah Quraysh.
Surah Quraysh. Okay, inshallah. When you're ready, inshallah, please start.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. It's a very nice and soothing recitation, very calm and collected. You've done really well, MashaAllah. Inshallah, we'll move to the judges to give us some feedback on how you've done. Hafiz Anhar, could give us some feedback.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mayesha, subhanAllah, as just our honorable presenter has just pointed out that, MashaAllah, very calm, soothing recitation. You were very confident as well. And the melody and the tone that you recited as well was very nice, excellent, mashallah. And can I ask, is there any particular reciters that you like to listen to or you try to imitate or follow?
Yes, Mishari Al-Afasi.
Mashallah, I can see some of that there. Mashallah, a lot of recitation with a lot of reflection, contemplation, mashallah. Mashallah, well done. Inshallah, you've done well. Barakallah fiqh.
Jazakallah khairan. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much, Masha. That was very good. How did you feel about that?
Good.
You're happy?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, we are also very happy for you as well. As you can see, mashallah viewers, look, she's taken her time out to listen to other reciters and try and imitate them as much as possible. This is one way that we can learn the Holy Quran. It's one way we can perfect our recitation. But as we've mentioned before in our shows, and one of our honorable judges mentioned today, is that when reciting the Quran, it's very important for us to find a teacher as well. Right? We can listen to people, we can listen to professional reciters, but they necessarily won't be there to correct our mistakes. So we need to find those local people, or you can find people virtually who can help you to learn and perfect your own recitation of the Quran. So although melody is very important, also the tajweed is important, and we've seen here showcased in Mayesha's recitation that she's done very well in terms of melody, but also in terms of pronunciation as well. So Jazakallah khairan. Mayesha, if I could ask you to open the Quran and recite a short segment for us from the Quran, inshallah. Whenever you're ready.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم
ما شاء الله.
تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair, Mayesha, for that beautiful recitation. MashaAllah, as you guys have listened, she's recited from memory very nicely, but she's also recited whilst looking at the Quran and recited the Quran very nicely, MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we'll turn to one of our judges to give you some feedback.
Okay, MashaAllah, that was again the very melodiously recited, MashaAllah, and we can hear the influence in what you spent. I'm guessing it's your free time even in listening to Quran, and MashaAllah, what a beautiful way to spend your free time in listening to the Quran as opposed to wasting away free time. Obviously everyone's gonna spend a little time here and there, but to include listening to the Quran is a beautiful way to additionally spend some time. MashaAllah, your tajweed was very good. What I will just because there's always room for improvement, myself included, but what I heard was that your letters, you can recite them very well, very clearly, but across the board there can be slight better control of those letters. So for example, the hamza, when that comes in, alladhi, rather than sort of merging the ya and dropping the sharpness of the hamza. The hamza, one of the qualities of the hamza is that it is sharp. So this is just sort of an example of what I mean by the taking greater control of the letters. But overall, the letters you pronounce beautifully. Your recitation is fluent and confident and in a very melodious manner. So MashaAllah, overall very well done.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khairan Mawlana Awli for giving us that feedback. Alhamdulillah, we'd like to thank you for coming here today and reciting the Quran for us in a very nice way. They've given you some feedback. You know, these are very precise things that, alhamdulillah, from their expertise, they pointed out very, very minute things that you can improve. But inshallah, go away and you can work on these things. But alhamdulillah, overall, your melody and your pronunciation, your tajweed is very nice, alhamdulillah. Hopefully we have another, what's his name, Mishari in London, inshallah, in the coming years. Inshallah, Jazakallah khairan. So dear viewers, alhamdulillah, what you've seen through our participants is a few things that we can reflect on, right? We had Rayhan, who just came on before Mayesha, who came from very far distance, who's taken their time out to come all the way from Cardiff 4 hours on the day where their parents are fasting, and probably he's fasting as well. So this is the level that it takes for us to learn the Quran. So this is an encouragement for us as well. Then we've seen Hussein, who came with a very smile on his face, which taught us that, you know, when we're teaching children the Quran, we should make sure that they are enjoying the experience. We should try and make the experience as lovely as possible for them. When they go to school, they do a lot of play. This is why they're encouraged to go to school, and they really love to go to school. When they come to the madrasas, we should try and incorporate some of these things as well. So when they grow up, they have a good experience of Islam. They have a good understanding of our religion and the Quran. So that is what we learned from Hussein. Zakaria, although we didn't point this out, he's a very young boy and he's a hafidh of the Quran. So alhamdulillah, he's memorized the Quran in a very, very short amount of time, in terms of at a very young age as well, alhamdulillah. Mayesha teaches us a few things as well. Mayesha teaches us that, alhamdulillah, we should educate both our boys and our girls as well in our society. They say when you teach a boy or a man, you teach him. When you teach a woman, you teach the whole nation, right? So our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, we should try our best to help them to become hafizas as well. We should try our best to try and make them qariyas as well. Try and make them even alimas, because there are certain things that they will be able to do that if even us men won't be able to do as well. In the household, they spend a lot of time with the children, so they can pass this on. Right? Any words that you guys can add to this?
No, mashallah, I remember one of the contestants, he recited very beautifully. I forget which one it was, but if I remember, he was 8 years old, and we asked who his teacher was, and it turned out that it was his grandmother, his nanu that was his teacher. And so that's just an example that I saw on this competition itself, into how important it is for us to educate and allow the mothers and the women of our society to really learn the Quran.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. As I'm just going to echo what Maulana Uli Noor is saying. Our mothers and our grandparents and our grandmothers can become our teachers as well. But we as a society, we have to make this push. We have to push this education for the women and for the men as well, and for the daughters and for the sons, inshallah, within the society. So alhamdulillah, we've actually come to one of our last contestants now. We have with us today Raisa Chowdhury, right?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam.
How are you doing today, Raisa?
Alhamdulillah.
Have you travelled from far today? Where have you come from? Tottenham. Okay, alhamdulillah. Tottenham's not too far but not too close as well, alhamdulillah. Are you looking forward to reciting today?
Yes.
Yes, alhamdulillah. I believe, are you Mayesha's younger sister? MashaAllah. So two sisters coming together and competing, MashaAllah. Jazakallah khairan for coming here today. So as we mentioned before, there's two segments, right? So you're going to recite from memory, and then you're going to recite from the Quran, inshallah. Yeah? What are you going to recite for us from
Surah
memory?
Al-Humazah.
Surah Al-Humazah. Okay, inshallah. When you're ready, inshallah, please begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع مالا وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنها عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, Jazakallahu khairan for reciting the Quran in such a nice way. Inshallah, we'll turn to one of our judges, Maulana Uli Noor, to give us some feedback on Raisa's recitation, inshallah.
Okay, MashaAllah, Raisa, that was a beautiful recitation. You mentioned that Mayesha was your sister. Do you also listen to reciters? Have any favorite reciters?
Mishri Al-Afasi.
Who was that, sorry?
Mishari Al-Afasi.
Okay, mashallah, same reciter. I think we can hear the influence in both you and your sister in the confidence and the melody with which you recite the Quran with, and it was very beautiful to hear that. And mashallah, for such a young age, it's really well done. Were you feeling nervous today?
A little bit, but now I'm confident.
Now you're confident. Okay, mashallah. So allow that confidence to grow, and allow that confidence to be in your recitation as well, and inshallah it will only improve. What I will say is when it comes to the pronunciation of some letters, again, because it's not native to our tongues, we speak English, we speak Bangla, the Ain and the Ha, they can be a bit tricky to get a hang of in the first place. So just watch out for those and listen to your teachers, mashallah. They're doing a brilliant job, and again, for such a young age, it's really you have so much potential, I see, mashallah, within yourself, and inshallah you will be seeing with you and your sister, two reciters, top female reciters in London, inshallah, in the future.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, Maulana Uli Noor, for that constructive feedback and very good feedback for you as well. Alhamdulillah. So you've done really excellent, Raisa. How do you feel?
I feel confident and good.
You feel confident and good. Although you said you were nervous, we didn't feel like you were nervous when you were reciting. You recited really well, and I could not tell in your voice that you were nervous at all. You can often tell when people's voices are shaking that they're nervous, but your voice wasn't shaking at all. So alhamdulillah, jazakallah khairan for coming here today and for reciting for us. Inshallah, we'll move on to your next recitation, where you'll be reciting from the Holy Quran. So if you could kindly open apart from the Holy Quran and then recite for us, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون.
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much for reciting the Quran for us. Alhamdulillah, we'll turn to one of our judges, Hafizan, to give us some feedback on your recitation, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Raisa, mashallah, you both of the sisters, mashallah, have done very well, mashallah. Can I ask, did you both prepare together, or you had your own preparation? She had her own preparations.
We did it together.
Mashallah, that's really good to know.
Very nice bond,
it's a competition that they're competing against each other.
Yeah.
But their preparation was together. Mashallah. Mashallah. I think this is why I believe that you both done very well, because you guys were supporting each other, and that's very important, even though you're competing here against one another. But alhamdulillah, your memorization from memory and your recitation from via looking as well, mashallah, you've done equally well in both segments, alhamdulillah. And you managed to, I can see that the level of confidence in your recitation is very high, alhamdulillah. That's quite important as well. And can I ask, are you memorizing any parts from the Quran, or have you memorized any ajza or any paras from the Quran?
No.
No, mashallah. Have you memorized any surahs from Juz Amma?
Yeah.
Okay, mashallah. Well, that's good. Inshallah, I hope you can improve your recitation further, mashallah. And who do you currently study with? Do you have a teacher?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you attend a particular masjid, or do you study out?
I study at Edmonton Masjid.
Okay, okay, mashallah. Well, keep up the good work, inshallah, and we hope you've done enough to move on to the next round, inshallah, but we'll need to wait and see. Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Hafidullah, for giving those comments and a sense of encouragement for you as well. So, Raisa, you've done very well. Okay, so you should be proud of yourself. You've made your family really proud, and everybody that's sitting at home that's watching you, from your relatives and cousins and so forth. Okay, so are you happy?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khairan. So, alhamdulillah, we've seen two sisters come here, and we learned another lesson from them, that even if you're competing with your family, you can help each other out.
Yes.
When we compete, we usually try and do one for the other person. But they are sisters, mashallah, have done really well. They recite very similar as well, so you didn't have to tell us that you actually practice together. We can even tell. So alhamdulillah, dear viewers, we've actually gone through all of our contestants today, and we may have another one, but we would have to see, inshallah. So jazakallahu khairan for watching. In the meantime, what we will try and do is you take lessons from all these participants, right? They've all come here today on live television, age 6 to 11, right? I think the eldest here was 13, and they've come in front of so many people and they managed to recite the Quran. It's one thing if they were reciting just by looking, but they're also doing it from memory as well.